Hi, Kalani, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to chat with you today. And
Oh my.
first, we're going to talk about our drinks because I asked you to bring a cup of cozy.
I did.
What did you bring today?
Well, first cup of cozy, I had to do the cozy mug. So I brought my little skeleton mug. I am drinking some coffee, but it's with pumpkin spice, or pumpkin, what is this? Pumpkin spice creamer. Yeah, pumpkin spice creamer.
Ooh,
I was trying to be in the
nice.
fall vibes.
Yes, yes.
Just, I'm a fall girly, not really a Halloween girly, but the fall
Well, the
vibes are
mug
here.
is spooky, though. You got a
I
spooky
know.
mug.
I was trying.
It's
My only
really
other
cute.
option was Hocus Pocus, and that one was dirty.
Oh, okay, random because you brought up Hocus Pocus. I've never watched the movie. I know. I know, whatever. I need to watch it. But last weekend, my friends and we went to a drag show at a bar that was Hocus Pocus.
Wow. Okay.
And it was a
I love this.
musical drag show. It was amazing. I had so much fun. I hadn't been to a drag show before, so it was
Your
fun.
first drag show and it was Hocus Pocus. That's
And it was
incredible.
Hocus Pocus. So I'll link that in the show notes in case people want to check them out. But they were
Yeah,
they were
that's
fun.
awesome.
Anyway, totally random, totally random. I'm also drinking coffee, and I was thinking I have this pumpkin spice like whipped cream from Aldi. Freaking love Aldi.
I
But
need to go there immediately.
I didn't put it on because I was like, it's gonna melt by the time I start. So I mean, that's what I was thinking. But this is just plain coffee. But I did put it in my mug that my husband painted for me at like a pottery thing
Stop. That is the cutest thing I've
because
ever heard.
because when Kalani and I were talking first, we found out that we have the same anniversary. And this has my wedding song on it. He like wrote out the notes.
Oh, stop it right now. Who's writing the book?
And yeah. Oh yeah, it was really cute. So
Oh my
that's
God, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
that's my cup of cozy today. It's like extra cozy.
And remind me again, how long have you been married?
Well, the same as you.
Oh yeah, it was the same
Literally
year,
the
right? Oh
same.
yeah, same day.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Same
Literally the
day,
same
same
day.
year. So what, that's 4 years now. Yes.
Yeah.
four
Oh my
years.
gosh, that's so I
All right.
remember when we were
So
talking the first time, we were like, no way.
I know it was hilarious. That's so random. We got married at like the perfect time though. It was right before
Yep.
crazy
All
things
the crazy
hit.
COVID stuff.
It was nice. Where did you get married? What kind of venue was it?
I actually got married right down the street from this house. We were living in this house when we got married, and
Nice.
down the street this way is Mile Square Park. It's just like a big park. We got our ceremony was there, and then down the street in the other direction was our reception hall. It was just like a sports hall, but upstairs it was like this big, like long marquee area. So yeah,
Nice.
it's crazy that now like our son's here, like we could literally walk to the place that we got married. We were there yesterday.
That's cute. That's so cute. We got married like on the other side of the state from where we live. And it was at like,
Oh wow.
one of those venues that's like just for weddings. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so no visiting it, but that's cute. We can write a book
Oh,
about your love story too.
a co-written dual love story.
Let's chat a little bit about you. I met Kalani through BookTube. That's how I found you. I said in my first email to you that the bingo, TBR bingo, I watched like every TBR bingo. I don't know. It was just like my thing. I was loving that. So I want you to
Nice.
just tell the audience who don't know you kind of what you do, what you're all about, all the good stuff.
Oh, you just brought back like good vibes because I can't do TBR bingo in this house and I miss it. Um,
Aw.
I'm Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me. I started my BookTube channel, wow, 3 years ago. Ooh, almost four. I don't like that. Um, I'm a huge romance fantasy reader, mostly romance at this point in my life. I just delved into romance, and I don't want to look back. So don't expect me to. I am a mom of one. My son turns 1 year old next month.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
and then, as we talked about, I've been married 4 years to an incredible my incredible husband. He's great. Um, and yeah, I work full time, so I do YouTube as a hobby. And when I say as a hobby, I mean it takes up every other waking hour of my life because all I do is read. But yeah, I just try to fit it in where I can alongside being a mom and doing all the things that mom life entails. But I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty simple for the most part. I just read and hang out with my kid and my husband and fit other cozy things in the meantime.
Well, yeah, you're always doing so much. I mean, I watched your recent vlog that was very autumnal. You guys went to like a pumpkin patch, just so
Yeah.
adorable. And
Yes.
you read so many books in that vlog. It's like three or four.
I tr Yeah, I try. I mean, I do read a lot. I think I average around 200 books a year. Um, which is a
That's
lot for
crazy.
somebody that does as much. Yeah, that does as much as I do. Um, but I love it, and it's like it's really my peace. Like if I didn't have time to read, I might just sob until I had no more tears left.
So that's a good kind of segue. Why I think it's really important to like focus on things that are self-care and really make you thrive in life.
Mhm.
Um, why just talk about it more. Why do you think it's really important to make sure you do those things, especially now that you're a mom? I know like a lot of
Yeah.
moms will feel like I don't have time for myself anymore. How are you able to keep that time for yourself and why is it important?
Well, I think, and this is not for everybody, but this is definitely for me. My ability to have my free time is a lot due to my partner. Is so super supportive of everything that I do, has been from the very beginning. When I started my channel, it was nothing about books. I was doing makeup in our small little bedroom with this really crappy backdrop, like, and he was all about it. He helped me go to Home Depot and build my little backup backdrop thing. Like, he's been supportive from the very beginning, and so my ability to take time for myself really comes from him. And he really, steps up, and he's so great. He's an incredible father, and I'm so grateful for him. But I do think it is really important, especially as a parent. You really do, you lose a lot of yourself in parenting, which is, it comes with the territory, and I'm not complaining at all. I love it. I love being a mom, but I do think it's really important to find time to fill your own cup up, because you can't give back when you're empty, So I have found a lot of things that do fill my cup up, especially spending time with my husband. But I found some really fantastic friends through YouTube, and I spend a lot of time with them over the phone because, of course, we all live in different states.
Yep.
um, and then reading, and then whatever hobbies I can fit in. But yeah, it is really, really important. I think that a lot of the times you get so lost in like making sure that your kid is taken care of that you forget that you have to take care of you too. So
Yeah, so important. Thank you for saying that to someone who doesn't have any kids yet. It's one of the things I fear of when I have a kid. Like, I don't want to lose myself. It's a big thing.
yeah, I think you have to make a conscious effort, because it's so easy to spend so much time doing the things that matter for them. And you consciously have to be like, okay, now it's time for me. Like
Yeah,
the moment that my son got on a schedule, like my whole life changed. And you have to get there. You really do. You have
yeah,
to get there.
yeah.
But my son goes to bed at 7 o'clock every night on the dot. He puts himself to sleep. So I put him in there and I walk away and I let him, do that on his own. And that's
Wow,
truly like
bedtime
when,
goals.
yeah, and I mean, granted, he's a very easy kid. Not all kids are going to be like this. My kid is like literally the epitome of perfection, and I'm not saying that because I'm his mom. Like every place I go, everyone's like, "How is he so good?" And I'm like, don't jinx it. I don't know.
Were you a good kid? Because lots of the times people are like, you get what you were when you were a kid.
I was a chaotic child. I was like one of those kids that would get on the couch, jump off the side into the wall, and get up and do it again. So I don't know how I got so lucky, but from what I've heard, my husband, up until probably the age of 2, was a fantastic baby. So
All
maybe that's
right.
where we got it from.
All right, that's good.
More props to him.
So you talked a bit about YouTube and starting up your channel, that it wasn't originally a book channel. You did makeup and things like that. What made you want to do it in the first place?
Oh my God. I always wanted to do YouTube. Actually, this is so embarrassing. Please, nobody look this up because I don't think I ever took the videos down. Um, Before I ever had this channel, I had an original YouTube channel when I was in high school where I would sing. And they're terrible. Please, God, don't. And nobody watch them. It's
Are
so
they like
terrible.
what were you singing?
Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even know why I brought this up. Why did I do this to myself? But like, I would just like play like a track. It was like a
Mhm.
really bad karaoke track that you find on YouTube, and I
All
would
right,
like
all
sing to
right.
it.
Yep, yep. Hmm.
And I was living my best life back then. Now, not so much. But I always wanted to find a creative outlet for me to share. I mean, I'm a Leo to my core. I love being like, this is so narcissistic of me, and I'm so sorry, but I own it. I like being the center of attention. So like, I always wanted to, I always wanted to find a place to like share who I was in a way that I could like be collaborative with other people and find a community of people that liked the same things that I did. But when I got into the makeup world, I realized like it's cutthroat and it's really hard to like find your own niche experience. And I quickly fell off of it because I realized I didn't love it that much. And
Okay.
then COVID hit 2020. I got laid off from my job and I was like, okay, like I'm just going to do it. I had like dabbled in it a little bit right before then. I think I started watching BookTube in 2020 in December. And I was like, oh
Hmm.
my God, I love this. And then when I got laid off, I was like, all right, bet. Like I'm
Try
gonna
it. Yeah.
go hardcore. And I think actually June was when I posted my very first TBR bingo video. And it was like I was like, okay, this is it. This is my life now. Um so yeah. It wasn't really like a I wanted to do it for money or for I just wanted to be creative and fun. And that's where it stemmed
Hmm.
from.
Do you remember who the first booktuber you watched was?
Yeah. Clockwork
Who
Reader.
was it? Who?
The Clockwork Reader. Her name's Hannah.
Oh, the Clockwork Reader. Yes. Yes,
It
she
was the
has those
very first
very
video I ever
aesthetic
watched.
bookshelves.
Yes. Yeah, and she has her
I'm
little
trying to think.
planner.
I know, yeah. She like made that product that she sells now. That's so cool. I watched I think it was like a cozy gamer YouTuber who then she did like a TBR video out of nowhere. She was just like, let me do a book video. It was a casual gamer, I think that's her name. And I was like, oh, this is cool. People like do videos about books on YouTube. And then I think I watched like Monica Kim. Do you know Monica
Yeah.
Kim? Do a video. And I just stumbled into it all. It's a great place to get
Yeah,
lost.
the obsession was real. It was like once I fell
Hmm.
down the rabbit hole, there was no getting out.
Were you already a reader before that?
So I read a lot when I was in high school and middle school. I was a big reader in high school. Like I was that girl that instead of going to my lunch with my friends, like I was in the library. um, and it's funny because when I was reading in high school, like all I read was romance. But when I got back into reading, like all I read was fantasy and like contemporary. And here we are 4 years later, and all I read is romance again. Come full circle. But
But
I took about a
you got some romanticy in there
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. But I took about a 5 year hiatus from reading.
Okay.
But that's the same time
Yeah.
I met my husband. I was
Hmm.
being courted throughout the town, you know? I was getting married, like,
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. Like, I was an English major in college, creative writing major. So I had a lot of required reading. Didn't love it. I didn't love it. It
yeah.
kind of put me off from reading for a while. Um, and then I got back into it like after being out of college for a couple years, and I was like, hey, I could read like just what I want and for fun. What is this concept? So, yeah, it's okay to take a break. and get back into
Yeah.
something that you used to be into. When you were in middle school and high school, what were some of the romances you were reading?
This is embarrassing.
I'm ready. I'm ready
Um,
for it.
I read, there's a series, it's called Perfect Chemistry. I can't even remember the author. Like, I owned it recently, like, probably about 3 years ago. I had it on my shelves, and my
Okay.
family was like, girl, you're never going to reread that. But, I mean, I was reading a lot of fantasy romance. So I was reading, of course, Twilight, like everybody else, The
Mm-hmm.
Vampire Diaries. I was reading a lot of, like, Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, the House of Night
Ooh,
series,
I haven't read it, but I
which
know
is
of it. Yeah.
it's terrible. Don't read it. It's a product of its time for sure. Um, and then things like Stephanie Perkins, like I was reading a lot of that. And like I can't really pinpoint like a lot of the ones I read. I was just like consuming them at a rate faster than I should have. But then I think what really changed my whole perspective of romance was when I fell down the rabbit hole of 50 Shades of Grey, which again is not good. But at the time, when I was like a young high schooler thinking this was the most taboo thing I would ever read in my life, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also another good segue into your reading taste.
Mm.
Describe your reading taste.
Well, how can I say this?
Today's reading taste.
Can I say this with kid gloves? I like to read things that have very intense red flags that nobody in their right mind would like in real life, but I have to have it in my books. I'm a dark romance reader to my core, but again, I read a little fluffy romance every now and again. I think that my favorite subgenre of romance would be why choose, just because they're spicy and sexy and I like them. I want somebody to put me in their harem. I would not mind that at all. But yeah, I mean, I read a little bit of everything. I'm not like okay, that's a lie. I don't read some things, but I'm not super picky when it comes to the things that I will pick up. I'm pretty open-minded, but for the most part, like I kind of stick to. I'm like looking at my currently reading right now because the stack is very large, and like it's all very like eclectically chosen for me. A little bit of everything,
Nice.
but fantasy, romance, dark romance, contemporary romance, and the regular straight adult fantasy every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Sarah J. Maas. I know you're a fan.
Don't even get me started. We could spend a
I've
whole hour talking about SJM.
yeah, I've only read one. I read Crescent City, the first one.
Oh,
That's it.
the
That's all I've
best
read
one.
so far. It is really good. It's really good. I have Throne of Glass. I haven't read it though. Um, I really liked Crescent City. I have the second one. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
You have to read it, especially because the third
I
one's coming
know.
out
When's the third one coming out?
in January.
Oh, I may have to do like a reread of the first one,
Do it.
or at least look up. I think what is her name? There's some booktuber, and she has like
Becca?
oh yes, Becca. She has the recap video. I
Yeah.
may do
Mm-hmm.
that because it'll. There's a big commitment to reread that whole like 800-page book.
Oh yeah. Yes, for sure. I reread it, don't get me wrong, I have, and I tabbed it. I actually have it right here. I pulled some of my favorites just in case you asked. But I do have
Yes,
like a special
yes.
dust jacket on it. But the tabs, the reread was incredible. Impeccable,
Mm.
wonderful, the best thing I've ever done in my life.
I was
Now I can't
waiting.
get it back.
It's a chonky boy. I was trying to wait until the soft cover came out of House of Sky and Breath before I got it because I have the soft cover of the first one
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted them to match. But
Well, it's out.
I know it's out now, but I bought it in
I'm just saying.
hardcover. And
Oh
now
no.
I saw Barnes and Noble has like, I really like their special edition soft covers. That's just
Yes.
like the art without the title on it.
I pre-ordered those so fast.
Oh, I was like, ooh, I don't need them, but they're
That's
pretty.
what I say to myself every time I buy a new Sarah J. Maas book that I already own 5 times over.
But it's a collection, you know?
Yeah. I think I counted my Sarah J. Maas books the other day and I have 65 Sarah J. Maas books.
Wow.
It's embarrassing.
How do we know how many she's written? She hasn't written 65,
Uh,
has she?
no. 8 plus 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I own 65.
Wow. Committed. You're a groupie.
It's a problem.
So let's take a little bit of a subject change. Let's
Okay.
chat about your career change.
Yes. The coveted career change that I haven't done yet.
Well,
Because
the
I'm
journey that
nervous.
you're on. The journey that you're on.
Nervous. Yes. So, um, obviously, books and booktube has been my life for 4 years, and I have no chance of looking back. And I spent a year and a half working in a bookstore that I absolutely loved. And so I always knew that like books was kind of where I wanted to be in some capacity or another. And I stumbled upon a video. I was watching Peace Love Books, Jess from Peace Love Books, and she was talking about her recent career change. And I was like, wow, this sounds so cool. She was, I believe, if I can't remember, maybe a teacher. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that.
Mm.
But she had recently quit her job and she was working with authors as a personal assistant. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. But like, I could never do that, right? And then I was just watching the same video and she was like, yeah, I worked with Artemis and I put together these modules to learn how to do it. So you could just buy them and learn. And I was like, ah, it was like serendipity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I bought the modules and I am starting that and I'm hoping to, do it full time, but right now I'm just hoping to do part time. But it would be as an author assistant, a personal assistant for most likely indie authors. Um, and that entails a lot of different things, anywhere between like ARC team creation, newsletters, beta reading, social media, content creation, all of the above, helping with events, invoicing, website design, stuff like that. So, um,
Nice.
yeah, so I'm excited. I'm nervous. I still haven't finished my modules. I want to finish it before I start reaching out to potential clients just because I want all my ducks in a row. But you know what
Right.
they say,
Right.
like if you wait for everything to be ready, it'll never be ready. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
um,
Well, that's
I'm working on
exciting.
it.
You said you were,
Yeah, I'm excited.
you mentioned like putting together a website too.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing that for
I put
yourself?
together a website. I already finished it. I have a few things that I want to tweak here and there, but for the most part, it's done. Um, and it's a very like simplistic website, which I can always add to more later. But that was a really fun like creative experience too, that I didn't know I would be capable of doing. But I use a platform
Yeah.
that's really easy to use too, so that's
What
helpful.
you use? What did you use?
Wix.
Wix. Yeah, Wix is good.
Yeah.
I've
So,
created many a website. That was my problem. I create too many websites. I'm like, ooh, this is a good idea. Let me just create a website for it. Like, what are you doing, Kelly? You
yep.
have too many websites now.
hmm
Well, that's really cool. Did you know that that was even like a career choice until you saw that video?
I didn't. No, I didn't know anything about it. And I know people are assistants for authors.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
ideally I knew that. But
Right. Right.
I don't think I ever thought it would be something that I would do. Um, and I never really considered it as a job. Like I just, I don't know. In my head it makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
Until somebody presented the opportunity. So, and again, like it's something that it's a small business, so you put in all
Yeah.
the work. So it's kind of one of those things that you're making a risk and a gamble that you don't know if it's going to work out. But even if it doesn't, I'm not like, you know, putting my whole career on the line.
It's low
Um,
risk.
yeah. So, and then even like the money that I spent putting into it is not like a huge amount. So like I feel
Hmm.
safe in doing it, but it is just like I think any change is scary for sure.
Of course. Any change.
Yeah.
That's very true. All right. Let's do another topic switch. Let's
Okay.
just talk about cozy things. Mainly books.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you kind of talked about this a little bit already, but what makes you like a book versus dislike a book?
I think it comes down to the type of book I'm reading. It's like if I'm reading a novella, like I'm not looking for
Mhm.
character development. right?
Hmm.
It doesn't, most
Sure.
novellas
Yeah.
don't have them. So I'm just looking for like a fun, spicy, good time with good writing. But for the most part, I think for me, I really love romance books. And I'm talking about romance books specifically because that's what I tend to read, but this can kind of go across the board. I just like really good character development
Hmm.
that matters. Like, I like books that talk about things that matter. And every once in a while, I like the light, fluffy, no trauma
Yeah.
type of books. But I feel like even in the dark romances that you read, a lot of it talks about like trauma and mental health and PTSD because a lot of these people are struggling from things that are
Hmm.
very real, even though it's
Hmm.
not in a relatively like what's the word I'm looking for? Realistic setting.
Hmm.
So I really like things that deal with harder topics, books that will pull on my emotions and tug at my heartstrings, and just books that have impeccable writing. Like if you can write a good book, like most of the time, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I found I've been a little bit more stingy with my 5 stars recently, but I feel like if a romance book can do that, it's at least getting a 4, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, writing is an important thing for me too. If it's poorly written, I can't get through it. I'm really stingy with my 5 stars.
Really?
Like I this sounds pretentious, but I need it to be like an art piece if it's going to get a 5 star. Like I have to be entertained by it, but it also has to be written well, have good plot, have good characters. If it doesn't have all those things, I'm like I can't give it a 5. Can't give it a 5.
Yeah. I feel like before, when I was, especially like in my earlier days, I was so generous with my ratings. And
Hmm.
I feel like as a new reader, like sometimes you just don't know. Like everything seems
Yeah,
good, you know?
or bad.
And I think that it takes, yeah, or bad. It's one end of the spectrum to the other. But I think it
Right.
takes some time to like really get to know what you like and what your
Hmm.
lines are, where your boundaries are when it comes to writing and books. Then I think you start to get a little bit more picky with the things that you like.
Yeah, that's very true. What's what makes you really not like it besides just being poorly written or something? What is something that you're like, mm-mm, not for me?
Oh man. Um, I don't like. Ooh, this is hard. I don't like trauma for the sake of trauma.
Hmm.
Um, One book comes to mind. I don't want to slander it, but A Little Life. I'm talking to you. A Little Life, right? So I think that trauma has its place in books in a rare, very real sense, but I don't like trauma for the sake of trauma. So that tends to put me off of something very, very easily. I'm a very sensitive person, so like if it's just for like the money grab, like, oh, this book makes you cry, so 5 stars, can't do it, right?
Yeah,
Um, Bad writing, of course, I feel like that's across the board. Um, but I also like really hate miscommunication. Like, I don't, I hate it. I can't stand it. So like,
like
if
when
there's a book that just,
characters have miscommunication. Okay, that's like a trope.
I know, and I don't like it. I think that communication is one of the biggest, most important things when it comes to a relationship, and it's
Hmm.
across the board. Friendships, relationships, you know, relationship with your parents, like all the way through. So miscommunication really, really bothers me, and that will like dock a whole star if the book has like miscommunication as the third act breakup. Like,
Yeah.
no, I can't do it. I don't know. I feel like each book is different. I'm like thinking about the last couple books that I read, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I did not like this. But, and then I think maybe also like just poor character development. Like if they're just really surface level, like I don't have anything to connect to the characters, that could be something that
Yeah,
I dislike.
that's what's gotten me away from YA. I used to be kind of a YA reader, YA fantasy mainly, YA
Mm-hmm.
horror. Then I was reading, oh, man, what is it called? It was some YA fantasy. And I felt like the characters were just so shallow. And they're like falling for each other just because they were both in the same place. And
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I need more to grab onto. I feel like that's a thing with YA. That's what got me onto more of adult books because the YA felt too surface level.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I I used to read a ton of YA fantasy, and I still have so many on my shelf because I cannot seem to let go of my subscription boxes. Okay, it's a process that I'm slowly trying to wean myself off of. But I do agree. I do agree that I pulled away, especially from YA contemporary. Like I don't read it at all anymore. And if somebody's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my gosh, you have to read that," and I'm like, "Oh, is it YA?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, no, thank you." But I do like a good YA fantasy every once in a while if it's by an author that I know will do
Mm-hmm.
it right. So I'm very picky. I'm
What's
very
a
picky with them. But
what's
I do
one?
agree. It's
Give
very
me an example of one.
of a good YA
Yeah,
fantasy.
of a good one. Yeah.
I just recently read The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. It's a YA dark academia fantasy romance, and it had
Nice.
some really incredible like deaf representation. Um, I thought it was like really really well done. The character development was good. The world building was incredible. The magic was fun, and it was different from something that I've read before.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. What are some other ones? I haven't been reading it recently, so I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to pull. I'm like looking at my shelves. Like what did I read? I think like this is sci-fi, but I really enjoy the Lunar Chronicle series by Melissa Meyer.
Oh, is
Same thing with
is
the
it good?
Renegade series. That's incredible. Yeah, those are ones I'm a huge fan of. Um,
Oh, what about I
when you
read this a
say ask me about
long
books,
time
and
ago.
all of them.
I read this a long time ago. Cassandra Clare's um
Mm.
A Clockwork Angel. Are you
I
into
think
that
The Infernal
series?
Devices is one of her best for sure.
Yeah, I read it so long ago, and then it became a TV show. And I watched like a couple episodes, and it was so bad.
Yeah, that was
The
the Mortal
Shadow
Instruments.
Hunters.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not a
yeah.
huge Mortal Instruments fan, but I am a huge Infernal Devices fan. I think
I
that's the
gotta,
series name.
I don't know. She's got so
It's been
many,
a
and
while.
they're all in like the same
She does.
world.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same with Sarah J. Maas? Are hers in like the same world?
Um, no, no. She writes in different worlds. Um, but all of the never mind. I can't say. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that
Okay,
hasn't read
don't
the
spoil it.
series.
Don't spoil it. Yeah. So my next question is a little selfish because I
Okay.
just got a Kindle
Okay.
and I need recommendations.
Okay. Ooh, this is a hard choice to do. The excitement is for real. I also have my Kindle right here.
And so I have
um,
to decorate mine. It's just all blank right now.
you have to get the
Possibilities.
stickies.
I
Do you have
know.
a clear case?
I have a clear case. I have one sticker. I showed it on my last interview. It's from this cozy video game that I played as a kid. So he's going to go in there.
Oh,
He's the only one so
cute.
far, though.
Yeah,
I
I
need
have
more.
commitment issues, so I don't actually stick any of them on.
Oh,
But
I'm doing the same. Just going to put it behind my
good.
case.
Okay.
All
Oh
right,
my gosh. Okay.
recommendations.
Kindle recommendations. Okay. I'm trying to think of like series that I know. Like, do you have Kindle Unlimited or
No,
just
I
like
don't.
Kindle books?
But I have Prime, so any of the free Prime ones. But I'm also willing to
Hmm.
pay for books.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Like, what are fun, fast-paced books that you can get on Kindle? Like, I think these are all on Kindle. The Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. Love those. And I feel like if you're not ready to like pick up physicals, those ones are
Mm-hmm.
incredible. They're cowboy contemporary romances, but please don't get put off by the cowboy part. I promise it's so good. It's probably one of my favorite series I've ever read,
Yeah,
and it's so worth it. I'm pretty sure those are on Kindle. Um, recently added to Kindle Unlimited, I should say. The Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy.
I saw
They're
that. Yeah.
college hockey romances. Yeah, those ones are fun. Um, if you're looking for a like dipping your toe into wide shoes, because I'm trying to get everyone to read one, I would pick up maybe hmm, how spicy do you like your books? I feel like this is
How
a good
spicy
question to
do I
know.
like my books?
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. That's a hard
This is not
question
boding
because,
well.
like,
This is not boding well for
I
me.
I started reading Neon Gods, and then I was like,
Uh-huh.
it was too much.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should dial it back. Hold on.
But but like I read Hate by Tate James, and I liked that.
Be Still My Beating Heart. I love that series. um, okay. Well, then I recommend you move on to the rest of the series then if you haven't read the rest because they're so good. Um, okay. That makes me feel a little better. Let me think. I'm trying to think of like something that's like not as intense. Have you read Flock by Kate Stewart?
I haven't, but I've thought about it.
Read that. That's good. That's a good one. And if you are an audiobook girly, listen to the audiobook.
Yeah,
So good.
I'll have to look it up.
It's like really hard for me. I'm trying to like, what's in my basket? So I know Kennedy Ryan doesn't have any of her books on Kindle Unlimited, so you would have to pay for them. But a Kennedy Ryan book, you can never go wrong with a Kennedy Ryan book. Like they are incredible. Probably my favorites to recommend would be Long Shot if you're ready for some like intense trigger warnings because it's very, very dark. There's a lot of on-page stuff, so check the triggers on that one. Or Real by Kennedy Ryan because those ones are both like good starting places for her writing.
Okay.
But if you're looking for something short, you have to read Flow by Kennedy Ryan because it's a novella. It's so good.
So many options. I'm looking what it's recommending me right now. It's recommending
Yeah,
me Assistant to the Villain, which I read.
Oh, yeah. You read it already?
I listened to it, the audiobook. I actually loved it. Like, it wasn't the best writing,
Good.
but it kept me hooked. It's recommending me Iron Flame, but I haven't even read the first one yet, so.
Okay, you have to read Fourth Wing. This is a non-negotiable. Like, you have to read
it. Should I read it physically or listen to the audiobook? Because my mother-in-law listened to the audiobook. She really liked it, and she's like, I wish I read it physically.
My answer is going to be different than most people. I am an audiobook girly to my core. My answer is always listen to the audiobook. But if you are like one of those people that just reads audiobooks here and there and is not like, you're just not dependent on it, I would say read it physically. I think it's a great physical read. It's fast paced. It's hard to put down. But for me, my answer is always audiobook.
Yeah.
But Fourth Wing is incredible.
My library has Fourth Wing for free on audiobook. Use this. My library has this great app. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Hoopla. Do you have Hoopla? Yeah. So my library has amazing selection on Hoopla. So I could get that on Hoopla. All right. I got some options now.
I do really love. I love Hoopla. I think that it's a great resource. Libby is great, but I think Hoopla has more options.
Yes. And you don't have to wait. But you can't get the books on Kindle, which sucks.
Yes.
I was trying to read, I have like a little Android tablet, and I was trying to read ebooks on there, but the screen is just, I don't like the screen. So I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a Kindle. And
did you get it on Prime Day?
No, I got a refurbished one.
Ooh,
so it was only $70.
Oh yeah,
and
that's nice.
It's the newest one. I was afraid it was going to have ads and I was going to have to pay the $20, but it doesn't have ads.
Wow.
So I was like, that's a happy surprise.
That is a happy surprise. So what are you currently reading?
What am I currently reading? I'm in the middle of 3 different things right now.
Okay.
One is Madam. I don't know who it's by.
Sarah Kate.
Did you read it? I'm assuming you read it.
No, I haven't gotten that far. I haven't got that far in the series yet. I'm on book 4.
No. I think you're thinking of something different.
Oh, okay.
It's not part of a series.
Oh, okay.
It's not part of a series. It's a standalone. And
even better.
It is, what would you consider it? It's like a psychological thriller book.
Fun.
It is this all girls set at this all girls boarding school in the Scottish Highlands. Okay, the vibes. Uh and there's some creepy shit going on at the school. That's pretty much all I could say without giving anything away. It's been a
Ooh.
slow read because it's interesting, but it's way too long. Like, she could have cut out like 30% of the book. I'm just like, all right, these past 5 pages have all said the exact same thing. Nothing new has happened. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm also
That
reading
sounds good.
In the Company of Witches, which is a cozy mystery about these witches who run a bed and breakfast, and one of their guests dies, and they have to figure out who it is. Cute. Not cute, but
Yes,
fun.
we love a good cozy.
And the other one I'm reading is a middle grade. I love me a middle grade. I'm reading a spooky one for spooky season. I'm reading Doll Bones.
Ooh,
And it
that
is
sounds scary.
surprisingly so well written. It's amazingly written. It's got 5-star potential.
That's a big statement from you.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of know, like, within the first few pages, if I'm like, is it even potential to be a 5-star? Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. But I need a new romance. The last romance I read was Assistant to the Villain, and I really loved it.
Okay, then my first recommendation is Flawless by Elsie Silver. Please read it. I think it's so good.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be shopping on my Kindle tonight. We're going on a trip next week. So that's also why I got the
Where
Kindle. I was
to?
like, it's gonna be perfect. We're going to Vegas.
Ooh.
And then my best friend is getting married, and she's getting married in the Florida Keys. So we're going from Vegas to the Florida Keys.
It's very different weather. Very different.
No, not really. Right? Florida and Vegas?
Yeah, well, yeah. Weather?
Yeah. Isn't it just gonna be hot in both places?
No, no. Florida is humid heat. Vegas is dry heat. It's very different.
Oh, oh, my hair is gonna be having a problem.
Yeah. Vegas feels like when you take a deep breath, your insides are incinerating, and Florida feels like you're about to sweat into a puddle on the floor.
Oh, great. I live in New England, so it's like rainy and cold here. So,
All days.
oh, it's so fall though. It's like, it's beautiful right now, the leaves. So
Oh, I
pretty.
love that.
All right, let's move on to our game. I'm so
Okay.
excited. I'm so excited. I was prepping this last night, and I was like, this is gonna be a good time. Okay, so you have to name the book. I'm gonna give you clues. You have to name the book.
Okay.
And to make it fair, all
Okay.
of these books you rated 5 stars on Goodreads.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. What if I don't remember anything and you're like, you give that 5 stars? You don't even know what you're talking about.
I have 6. Okay?
Okay.
6. And
Good.
I'll give you like one clue, and if you're like, I still don't know, I've got some other clues I could give you.
Okay. This
All
is
right.
nerve-wracking. You're putting me on the spot and I'm scared. Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay. So the first one. In this book, one of the main characters dreams of becoming a bellhop.
House Mr. William C.
Yes.
God.
Wow, that was quick. That was so quick. You're gonna get through these quick. Okay. In what book does the main character have a pet chimera named Sphinx?
Pheasant City.
Yes. Damn, maybe I should make these harder. Okay. This one's kind of hard.
Okay.
This is the first line of the book. A girl is running for her life.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. Let me think. 5 stars. Girl is running for her life. Dang, that is hard because it's like my immediate thought is thrillers, but I don't think I've rated a single thriller 5 stars. So I can like, unless now I just maybe I'm making myself sound stupid, but I don't think I ever have. So I'm gonna cut that out. So my next thing is like fantasy. Oh no. Okay, I need another clue.
Okay. I don't want to give you the other clue I put on here because I think you'll get it too quick. So the cover of the book is black.
Running for her life.
And with gold letters. It's black with gold letters. Don't cheat. I can't tell if you're looking.
I don't even have my entire collection here, so I wouldn't. It could have been from like 2 years ago. I wouldn't know.
If you still don't know, I'll give you another clue.
Black with gold letters. See, I wanted to say Fourth Wing, but that's gold with black letters. Not the same thing. Okay, I don't know. I need another clue.
All right. The main character is immortal.
I hope you got another clue because that doesn't help me.
Okay.
The main character is immortal, like cannot die.
Yes. Yes. She wasn't originally immortal. She became immortal.
Stars?
You did.
Oh my god. Oh
came
no,
out like
this is embarrassing.
I don't know when it came out. I shouldn't even speculate.
Can you just explain a little bit more what's on the cover?
It's literally black with gold letters, and there's stars.
I want to say,
it's a fantasy.
What is that book called? It's right there. But I can't see the title because it doesn't say that because it's special edition. Frick! The Bargainer? Is it The Bargainer?
No. It's by V.E. Schwab.
Oh, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue!
Yes.
Dang. That is a good book, but I have not read it in a long time.
That was a hard one.
That was really hard. That was a good one.
You still got it with a lot of hits, but you still got it.
Wow.
All right. Next one.
Okay.
This book is a portal fantasy involving twin sisters, and it's a novella.
Oh, thank you. That helped a lot because I was like, down. Is it Down Among the Sticks and Bones?
Yes.
Okay. You said twins, and I was like, I've never read a book about twins ever in my life.
I also picked only books that I've read so that I could give you better clues. All right, 2 more. You got 2 more.
Okay.
All right, this book was recently adapted into a movie on Amazon Prime.
Daisy Jones and the Six?
No,
that was Hulu. I didn't give that 5 stars. Oh, maybe I did. I don't even know. Recently adapted on Amazon Prime. The thing is, I don't watch TV.
It's a really good adaptation. I watched it. I loved it.
Can I have another clue?
Yes. The cover is mostly pink.
Oh, I did watch this. Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Yes. That was like the first romance I ever read.
That's a great... I also read... That was one of the first ones I read, and it's really good. It's really good.
It's really good. I listened to the audiobook for that one, too. And
so good.
I like listening to audiobooks for romances. I think that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one.
Okay.
I want to time you. In this book, the main protagonist has pink hair.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, do you see the joy that brought me? Every time I think about Madison Kate, it's just joy.
All right, you got them all. You got them all.
Wow. I mean, that third one, that one got me.
What was the Addie LaRue? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a hard one.
That was hard. That was really good. I liked your selections. Man, that one, yeah. I haven't reread it since I read it in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. So it's been a long time since I read the book. I do need a reread, obviously.
I think I need to reread it. I also listened to that one on audio, but I got the physical copy at a library book sale. I was like, that was a great find.
Deal.
So I think I need to. It was like $1. Amazing. Hardcover, $1. Love
Wow.
it.
Incredible.
Anyway, that's about it for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to leave the audience with?
Read more books. Enjoy red flags.
Not in real life, only in
And
books.
only in books. We don't tolerate that in real life. And stay hydrated.
Very good, very good. I need that reminder. All right, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for
And
having me. It was a great time.
good. I'm so glad. And maybe, we'll have you on for another episode at some point. Talk about more books.
I would love that.